Today I turned the daisy blouse into a flowy dress. In this video, I'll show you the process of making this dress. Patterns are available in the link in the descriptions. First, cut out all the pattern pieces. And transfer the markings onto the pieces. First, we'll start by making a button loop. Fold the fabric in half lengthwise and cut out the top like this. Stitch the pointed top going back and forth 2 to 3 times. Leave the thread tail longer than the length of the button loop fabric. Fold the top to the right side of the fabric and the thread should go down. Fold the fabric in half. Stitch in 3 to 5 millimeter rib. Make sure not to stitch the folded fabric and the threads inside. Cut the same allowance into 2 millimeters. And carefully pull the thread down to reverse the fabric. The button loop is ready. Later cut it into the lengths you need depending on the button size. Prepare the front and back bodice. Place the back bodice and the front bodice with the right side together. And stitch the side lines by 1 centimeter. And the shoulders by 1 centimeter too. Finish the raw edges with an overlock stitch. Set your sewing machine to its longest stitch length and sew a row of basting stitches along the shoulder raw edge between the marked gathering notches. Sew a second row of basting stitches 6 millimeters away from the first. Pull the bobbin threads to adjust the gathers along the sleeve cap. Fold the sleeve bottom seam allowance 5 millimeters twice and stitch. the sleeve right side out and the bodice wrong side out. On the sleeve, there is a back sleeve notch which should face the back bodice. Start pinning the shoulder point next end of the sleeves. Each end of sleeve should match the sleeve notch on the bodice. Adjust the ease and pin in place. Sew the sleeve in place with a 1 cm seam allowance. And finish the raw edges with an overlock stitch. Now we'll give a 1 cm notch right below the end of the sleeve to finish the under armhole seam allowance. Fold the seam allowance 5 mm twice to the wrong side and edge stitch 2 mm. On the right side of the front bodice, pin the button loops onto the marked notches. Prepare the front-facing one and pin them in place. And sew the 1 cm seam allowance from neckline to the bottom. Center front seam allowance to 5 mm to make it easier to flip around. You can flip the facing to check the button loops. Next, place the back facing and the front facing two with the right side together. Sew the 1 cm seam allowance, open seam and press. Fold the end of the front facing two seam allowance by 1 cm to the wrong side and edge stitch 2 mm. Then place the facing on the bodice right side together and pin them. We will sew the neckline by 1 cm. Then we will cut the seam allowance into 5 mm. And make small cuts around the curve of the neckline. Fold the facing towards the wrong side. And then fold the 1 cm seam allowance to the wrong side. Edge stitch 2 mm to create a channel for the elastic. Use a small safety pin to guide the elastic through the channel. The length of the elastic for each size is mentioned in the instructions PDF. Pin both ends of the elastic at the side seam of the bodice and try it on to see if it fits comfortably. Adjust the elastic lengths if needed. Now sew the elastic in place 5 mm away from the end of the facing. And sew the buttons on the bodice. Now prepare the front skirt and the back skirt pieces. Place them with the right side together and stitch the sideline by 1 cm. Finish the raw edges with an overlock stitch. Now prepare the bodice and close all the buttons. And place the bodice and the skirt facing the right side together on the waistline. Match the center front notch and pin the waistline. Sew the waistline by 1.5 cm and finish the raw edges with an overlock stitch. seam allowance towards the skirt. Sew along the seam allowance edge to create a channel for the elastic. The channel must measure wider than 1 centimeter. Leave a 10 centimeter gap to put the elastic inside. Prepare the elastic for the waistline channel. Use a small safety pin to guide the elastic through the channel. You can try it on to check the fit and adjust the elastic if needed. Sew the elastic together like this. Next, sew the 10 centimeter gap we've left before to close the channel. Now the last step is to fold the bottom seam allowance 5 mm twice and sew. Dress is ready to wear. Thank you for watching.